Imagine someone walks up to you and offers you a trade. They will give you a tiny island in the middle of nowhere. An island less than 2 miles long. No skyscrapers. No roads. Almost nothing. And in return, you have to give them Manhattan, one of the most valuable pieces of land on Earth. You would probably say no. No way. But here's the strange part. This was not a joke. It actually happened. Almost 400 years ago, two of the most powerful empires on Earth made this exact trade. One side gave away Manhattan, and they thought they won, because the tiny island they received had something they believed was even more valuable. Not diamonds, not gold, but a little brown seed that might be sitting in your kitchen right now. Nutmeg, a spice so small you can hold it between 2 fingers. Yet it once changed the fate of entire empires, and became so valuable that nations were willing to fight over it. Today, nutmeg is ordinary. You can buy it in almost any grocery store. You sprinkle it into coffee, add it to desserts, then forget about it. But in the 1600s, nutmeg lived a very different life. People believed it could do almost anything. It was used as medicine. It was a luxury good. Some even believed it could protect them from deadly diseases. Was it actually magical? No. But people believed it was. And belief can create something incredibly powerful. Demand. Everyone wanted nutmeg. Kings wanted it. Rich families wanted it. Merchants crossed oceans looking for it. But there was one problem. Almost nobody could get it, because nearly all of the world's nutmeg came from one tiny corner of the planet. A small group of islands hidden deep in the ocean, the Banda Islands. Whoever controlled those islands controlled one of the most valuable products on Earth. One tiny place fed a giant global appetite. That made nutmeg unbelievably rare, and rarity pushed the price higher and higher. In Europe, a sack of nutmeg could be worth a fortune. When a tiny product becomes that valuable, people stop seeing it as a spice. They start seeing it as money. And money attracts competition. Competition attracts conflict. Soon, European empires arrived. They were not simply looking for spices. They were looking for control. The Dutch built one of the most powerful trading companies in history, the Dutch East India Company. Its goal was simple: control the supply, control the price, control the spice trade. The Dutch guarded nutmeg like treasure. They protected the secret source. Because when something is rare and everyone wants it, it becomes incredibly valuable. But there was still a problem. A tiny island called Run. The English controlled it. And Run had nutmeg trees. To the Dutch, that tiny island was a threat. Not because it was large, not because it had cities, but because it could break their monopoly. A single island could ruin their entire plan. So, the struggle continued. Ships crossed oceans. Empires competed. Lives were lost, all because of a tiny spice. Eventually, the Dutch and the English reached a deal. The English gave up Run Island, and in return, they kept Manhattan. At the time, the Dutch believed they had won. They had the spice. They had the money. They had the monopoly. But history had a different plan. Nutmeg trees were eventually grown in other places. The monopoly disappeared. The spice lost its incredible power. And Manhattan became one of the most important cities in the world. Today, the story sounds almost impossible. A tiny island traded for Manhattan. A struggle fought over something that now sits quietly in kitchen cabinets. But history is full of stories like this. Because value is a strange thing. What matters is not always what something is. Sometimes what matters is what people believe it is. A tiny brown seed once convinced empires to cross oceans, compete for control, and reshape history. And today, that same seed sits quietly on a shelf, waiting for someone to remember the strange story behind it.